WNBA free agency is officially underway, Annie. So when you see these names and the options that the Sky have, what do you think that they're cooking up?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Angel and Camilla are very interesting pieces. And when you're talking about, you know, getting the right players in here, there is intrigue when you have young core pieces like that, because you could be part of developing them and developing towards a title contending season. But the reality is the Sky are still very far from that.
Angel Reese made a bold proclamation on her podcast. She was building a powerhouse in Chicago. But fast forward to now, and that vision has all but vanished. Free agency is in full swing, and the Sky's roster is still nearly vacant. The league's top free agents weighed their options and collectively decided to pass on Chicago.
You don't get told no. Like, you're going to get the yeses. You're going to get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's going to come soon.
Not a single all-star has been convinced to join the Sky, leaving Chicago searching for answers as rival teams load up on elite talent. Angel Reese was expected to be a major player in free agency, especially after her headline-grabbing recruiting efforts during Unrivaled. Instead, it's all starting to feel like a harsh wake-up call. Is this the strongest sign yet that players across the league just aren't sold on the vision Reese is trying to sell in Chicago? Let's break down how this free agency period has spiraled and why it's quickly becoming a complete disaster.
The whole city is obsessed with you.
I know. I love it
all
here.
the time.
It feels like Baltimore here. I love it here. It does.
Kind of. A little bit. A little DMV action.
Yeah.
But you know, Chicago is the number 3 market in the country.
Really?
It's New York, LA, and then Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, y'all have everything. I'm not gonna lie, y'all have everything here. Like, it's nothing here that I'm like, oh, I gotta go to a different city for it. Like, everything has been here, which I love.
When free agency opened, the only thing the Sky had managed to build was a roster shrouded in uncertainty. Despite Angel Reese's confident promise of forming a super team in Chicago, imagine her scrolling through her contacts, sending texts, making calls, trying to bring in big names. But when she checks her phone, all she finds are courteous declines and messages left on read.
Like Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso too have brought relevance to this team that they've desperately needed in a time when, again, if not for them, they'd be completely irrelevant because of the product that they're putting on the floor.
And also make Chicago an attractive spot when you have Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso right there, 2 bigs that really shined in their rookie season.
With so many elite free agents available, you'd expect at least one to make their way to Chicago, right? Think again. The silence has been deafening. No headline signings, no celebratory posts, and no top-tier talent making moves toward the Windy City. Just Angel Reese, standing solo, left to wonder how it all fell apart.
So, lads, this is not great news, for the Chicago Sky, who are a team that obviously, look, they're rebuilding. This is a team that is 100% rebuilding. The problem is they don't own their pick. So if the Chicago Sky run it back, they're probably not making the playoffs next year. Look, I think there's going to be an improvement from Angel Reese. I think it's going to be an improvement from Cardoso. But that team with no Kennedy Carter, it's going to be real tough to get any offensive power.
Let's run through the list of available stars. Kelsey Plum, Jewel Lloyd, Brittany Griner, Alyssa Thomas, Derica Hamby, Natasha Cloud, Satu Sabali, Kelsey Mitchell, the kind of players who can instantly transform a franchise. And how many gave Chicago a serious look? 0. Maybe there was a chance. Maybe Reese had something unexpected up her sleeve. But with nearly all the big names now off the board, one thing is clear. Chicago was never in serious contention. Reese's ambitious recruitment campaign, it wasn't just a swing and a miss. It was a complete collapse.
So, not a good day for the Chicago Sky. Not a good day at all, because we have heard news from the journalist who reports on the WNBA, and because she is not a homer like a lot of the other people, like normally journalists are complete homers for one team, One of the actual credible journalists reported on something. Sky fans aren't happy. They all want her fired.
To make things worse, Skyfront management didn't exactly back Reese up, opting not to extend a qualifying offer to their top scorer, Kennedy Carter. The message was loud and clear. Chicago wasn't committed to retaining its own stars, let alone bringing in new ones. Trade buzz, minimal at best. And when Reese tried to sell her super squad dream, it seemed like free agents couldn't distance themselves fast enough. What was meant to be a bold power play is now looking more like a textbook example of how not to build a contender.
Kennedy had an incredible season for us last year, says the GM. She's extremely talented and is a player that can impact the game at the highest level in our league. We absolutely appreciate all she did for our team last year. However, we've made changes to our staff and we'll make changes to our roster. Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team, so we wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free agent.
So, where are we now? Angel Reese, the self-declared superstar, was expected to be the draw that brought elite talent to Chicago. Instead, she's staring down the possibility of leading a roster full of rookies and role players. This isn't the super team she promised. It's a sobering dose of reality. So what happened? Why did the league's top free agents take one glance at Chicago and decide it wasn't worth their time? Let's break it all down.
Is Angel Reese, did she just run a coach out of town, and is she running a player out of town? Their best shooter out of town? Because Kennedy Carter looks like she's ready to book it out of Chicago.
While Angel Reese was busy promoting Chicago as the WNBA's next dynasty, the league's top free agents were making moves that left the sky behind in a cloud of dust. Across the league, stars were signing with teams that had everything Chicago lacked: stability, proven leadership, and a legitimate path to a championship. So where did the true difference makers land? Let's take a closer look at where the elite talent chose to shine, and why Chicago wasn't even part of the discussion.
The Seattle Storm are sending Jewel Lloyd to the Las Vegas Aces in a blockbuster three-team trade that moves Kelsey Plum to the LA Sparks. That's according to ESPN. As part of the deal, Seattle receives the second pick in this year's WNBA draft from LA in exchange for the Storm's number 9 pick, while the Aces also receive the 13th pick, a second-round selection from the Sparks.
Let's kick things off with Kelsey Plum, the elite scorer who played a key role in Las Vegas' back-to-back championships. She's now on her way to Los Angeles. That's right, the Sparks just got a whole lot more dangerous. So why did Plum choose LA over Chicago? Simple. Experienced coaching, a sharp front office, and a stable winning culture. That alone stings. But what happened with Jewel Lloyd? That had to be downright humiliating for Angel Reese. Lloyd, a Chicago native, had a golden opportunity to return home and play in front of her city. If teaming up with Reese was such a thrilling idea, this should have been an easy yes. Instead, Lloyd glanced at the Sky's messy situation and sprinted in the opposite direction, straight to Las Vegas, where she'll now join forces with Ajay Wilson. She didn't just pass on Chicago, she chose titles over turmoil.
According to WNBA Insider, that Illinois native Jewel Lloyd will not be going to Chicago Sky. And obviously they didn't keep Kennedy Carter. And it's looking like one player, obviously, that's been in Chicago across her careers because of her Illinois roots is Seattle Storm guard Jewel Lloyd.
Next up, Brittney Griner, the dominant dunking force in the paint, is heading to Atlanta, joining a squad that's already loaded with dangerous talent. Meanwhile, Alyssa Thomas, the queen of triple-doubles, is now calling Phoenix home. Notice the trend. These stars didn't just steer clear of Chicago. They were drawn to teams with strong leadership, clear vision, and a culture built for success. They're not interested in wasting prime years navigating dysfunction or locker room drama. They want structure, stability, and a real shot to thrive.
Let's talk about the 3 big names you gotta know: Alyssa Thomas, Natasha Cloud, Brittany Griner. Let's start with Brittany Griner, joining Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard in Atlanta. Dream team? Brittany Griner was drafted to Phoenix in 2013, so it's kind of about time, and I'm so excited to see what Atlanta turns around this next season, because they really need her. Phoenix is also losing Natasha Cloud and Beck Allen, along with the number 12 pick overall in this year's draft, to Connecticut. Connecticut is giving up the triple-double queen, Alyssa Thomas, and Ty Harris,